What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brandy and you're watching the Glam Belle, and today is Makeup Monday, and today is all about brides and of course anybody who wants like a romantic date night type of look. I am a hair and makeup artist in real life, so I have a lot of bridal clients and most of them want a natural glam makeup look. I never do two of the exact same looks, but this is kind of typically in the range of what I go for. The springtime is a huge time for brides to be getting married. What better time to do this type of look and hopefully inspire some brides with this very romantic bridal makeup look. On your wedding day, you don't want to just look good, but you also want to smell good, and that is where Dossier comes in. And I want to say a quick thank you to Dossier for sponsoring this part of today's video. Dossier is a vegan and cruelty-free perfume brand that sells high-end quality perfumes at a very, very affordable cost. All of their perfumes are $29. For 50 milliliters, you pay $29, whereas in a retail store, you would normally pay $100 for the same exact scents. They're basically dupes for some of your favorite high-end scents. It comes in this little box right here. It has a little insert that tells you about the perfume that you received. What I love so much about this is that they have a risk-free program. You purchase the 50 milliliter scent and they send you a 5 milliliter sample to try out. So if you try this little sample and you absolutely hate it, then you can send it back for a full refund. If you love it, then you can throw that little sample in your pocketbook and you are good to go. This one is called Oriental Woody 1. It's inspired by Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle, and it tells you what notes are in your fragrance. So this one has notes of bergamot, orange, jasmine, rose, patchouli, I think that's how you say it, vanilla, and vetiver. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce all of these. I'd never actually smelled Chanel Coco Mademoiselle, so this was all new to me, but I knew that this was kind of in the fragrance realm that I typically like. Oh, and it smells so good. So now I have a 50 milliliter bottle that will last me so long, and then I also have a little itty bitty one that I can throw in my purse. So if you are a bride balling on a budget but you want to smell amazing for your wedding day, then I highly recommend you check out their website. I'll leave it linked in the description box. $29, 50 milliliters of perfume. You will smell great for the entire first year of your marriage. Or if you're looking for a gift idea for that special someone for Valentine's Day, this is a great gift option. But I'll leave all of their information linked in the description box. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this bridal makeup look. This is going to be something that pretty much anybody can achieve, and you can use whatever products you have on hand to achieve this look. We're going to jump in to the base, and the first thing that I always like to do for my brides is to make sure that their face is nice and hydrated. I love going in with a primer water. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I love this, but you can use whatever you have on hand, or you can simply use a moisturizer. Last thing you want to do is put a base makeup on dry skin. It's just going to look patchy and it's going to cling to dry patches and it's not going to be cute. The next step that I would normally do is add a little bit of either pore filling primer, hydrating primer, or mattifying primer depending on my client's skin type. But because I just put all of my products away for a class that I'm teaching today, I don't have my primers on hand. So we're gonna skip primer for this video. But if you were actually doing your makeup for a wedding, I would suggest using a primer because it just helps make your makeup look better and last longer. Today, I'm gonna use one of my favorite foundations. This is probably my favorite for bridal type of makeup because it gives a very natural, luminous type of look to the skin, and that is the Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani. So I'm just gonna go in, and I would use my Tati, what is this called? The Blendiful, but it's very, very dirty, and I haven't had a chance to clean it since my last few makeup applications, so we're gonna go in with this. This is the Juno sponge. So once I have the face covered in foundation, I do like to just really press that into the skin with a firm hand, just making sure that it's really melting into the skin. Less foundation is better. If you can get away with a lighter coverage, then that's always better so that you don't look cakey. But obviously you definitely want to make sure that you've covered up any imperfections. So if you need to go in with a color corrector before you do your foundation, you can do that. I don't typically need to do that. And this foundation, it's got pretty good coverage, so it covers up, you know, quite a bit of the redness and things like that that most clients might have in their skin. But if you have any like major skin issues, you can cover those up before you do your foundation. The next step is concealer, and I do like to go in with a concealer that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. That way it gives you a little bit of a highlighted effect. It looks really, really beautiful in photos. I've used this particular concealer for years and I ran out of it a long time ago. I haven't used it in probably a year, so I was like, you know what, let me pick one of these up. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I'm just gonna add a little bit under my eyes and then in the center of my face, just where you want to highlight. And I'm using the shade Fair Claire in this. I'm gonna go in with the sponge and just start to blend that all out. Ugh, look at that. It blends out so easily. I forgot how much I really, really love this concealer. And I am gonna put a little bit on my eyelids just to cover up the veins and the redness that I have. So the next step is to do some cream contour. You don't have to do cream contour if you're not into that. I'm gonna go into this little Graftobian contour and highlight palette. I love the formula of these, and I'm just gonna take just a little bit of that contour, pop that right into the cheekbone area. A little bit of this product goes a long way, so you don't need much. I'm just gonna sculpt out the jawline just a little bit. This is not a necessary step, but if someone really wants that kind of structured look, it does look really, really great in photos. The next step is to add a little bit of powder just to set the concealed areas. If you have really oily skin, then you can kind of set the whole face. I'm just gonna take the same little sponge, dip a little bit into my powder. Make sure that you don't have any creases before adding your powder, and then go right in there and set. And because this is bridal makeup and you want this makeup to really, really last, then sometimes adding a little bit of a light layer of powder with a damp sponge to your entire face will just help the makeup last all day long. And if you feel like it looks powdery, I always use a setting spray at the end of my makeup routine anyway, but if you feel like it looks powdery, then you can add a little setting spray as soon as you're done with the powder, and then add setting spray at the end of the routine just to make sure that you don't have any type of powdery finish. The next step is to add a little bit of warmth to the skin. Again, we've already done a little bit of contouring. Bronzing always looks really nice on the skin. I'm gonna go in with my Colorescience Santa Fe bronzer. I haven't used this in a while either. This used to be like my go-to bronzer. So I'm just gonna warm up the skin just a little bit. We're keeping everything nice and soft. Just kind of going around the hairline and around those cheekbones, kind of bringing it up almost to the apples of the cheek. And I always blend everything down my neck just so that it all flows. I'm gonna go ahead and add some blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Chic to Chic blush. I just love it. It's such a pretty pink shade that just looks, it just looks pretty and romantic and just reminds me of what every bride wants. Just this beautiful, subtle pink kind of glow. And it does have a little bit of a glow to it. And I am gonna go ahead and use a little bit of setting spray just to kind of let that powder seep into the skin. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because everyone does their brows a little bit different. I do stick to the client's natural shape. I don't go crazy. You don't want to Instagram brow on your wedding day. We are going to do brows and I'll be right back. Okay, so brows are done, and something that I forgot to do for base was my highlight. And for bridal makeup, I don't like to go too crazy with highlight because it can look a little bit funny in pictures if you go overboard. So I stick with something very light and luminous, and this is like the perfect highlight for that. This is the Jaclyn Hill Do Me Luminous Powder. What I've been doing is taking a fluffy brush like this. This is the Morphe M509, dipping it right into the product, swirling it around in the top, top, and then just literally just going over, just kind of going around the hairline and around those cheekbones, kind of bringing it up almost to the apples of the cheek. And I always blend everything down my neck just so that it all flows. I'm gonna go ahead and add some blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Chic to Chic blush. I just love it. It's such a pretty pink shade that just looks, it just looks pretty and romantic and just reminds me of what every bride wants. Just this beautiful, subtle pink kind of glow. And it does have a little bit of a glow to it. And I am gonna go ahead and use a little bit of setting spray just to kind of let that powder seep into the skin. my cheeks. It gives such a like slight glow to the skin, but it's so pretty. Adding a little bit of that to the nose, chin. The reoccurring word is romantic, and when I think of romantic, I think of kind of pinky, champagne kind of tones. The palette that I'm going to be dipping into today is one that I haven't used in so long, and that is the Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. This palette just screams bridal to me, and I haven't... Are you kidding me? Okay, so basically like 12 of my eyeshadows just came out. I've had this palette forever and that has never ever happened. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got them back in there, but now they're all mixed up because I don't know which color was what. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. I don't know what shade this is because it was one of the ones that fell out. So I don't know if I put it in the right spot or not, but we're going to put that right into our crease first. I'll find the names of these shades online and then put them on the screen for you. And this, I'm kind of bringing it almost up to the brow bone. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is just a little bit darker than the first shade that I used. And I'm gonna focus that more right in the crease and not bringing that up as far. Just helping to define that crease just a little bit. Then just using a clean, fluffy brush just to blend all of that together. Make sure that it's nice and seamless. Then I'm going in with the lightest shade in the palette called Strange, and I'm just gonna pop this on the lid to start with because something I really love for bridal is keeping the eyes nice and bright and open. Wedding day is not a day that I say go for a super sultry smoky eye. Like, unless that is your vibe, you go for it, you do you. Be true to yourself. Most of my brides normally are, you know, the everyday woman that doesn't wear loads and loads of makeup. They don't do smoky eyes, you know, so they want that very kind of natural, neutral kind of look. I love using a light color on the lid, and I kind of bring this from the front to about a third of the way, kind of leaving this last little bit blank because we're going to add a little bit of a deeper color. Because this palette doesn't really have any darker matte shades, I am going to go into a different palette. I'm going to go into the Love in London palette by BH Cosmetics. I'm going to use the shade called Piccadilly. It's kind of like a mix between a brown and a wine shade, just to get a little tiny bit of that. And I'm gonna pop that into that outer crease, just kind of patting it on. And with that shade, I am kind of extending it out into like a V, kind of helps to give that lifted look to the eye. And I'm gonna stick with the Love in London palette, and I'm gonna go into the shade Lolly. And I'm actually going to add that to the lid, and I'm gonna use my finger and just pat that right over top of that light color that we laid down. And this is where you can bring that sparkle into play and really have it look super romantic. And you could use any kind of shade. This shade has a little bit more of a pink hue to it, but you could use a champagne shade. Is always pretty. Then going into the shade Cheeky in the same palette, and I'm gonna use this for the inner corner of the eye. And I'm also gonna use just a little bit of that right under the brow bone. Going in with a little small angled definer brush, I'm gonna go in with that same shade Piccadilly that we used in the outer corner. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this right up against my lower lash line, as close as I possibly can. And I'm bringing that about half to a third of the way in. And then using that lighter shade Cheeky to line the rest of the lower lash line to keep that inner corner nice and bright. Going in with a pencil brush, I'm going back into that lightest color that we started with. Blend out that lower lash line. This is the Rose Glow Liner by Pixie. I'm going to use this in my waterline. Just to define the upper lash line just a little bit, I am going to go in with a black liner from Urban Decay. This is the Perversion pencil, and I'm just going to smudge a little bit along that lash line as close as I possibly can, and then kind of smudge it out. So it's going to be more of a smoky looking line. I love kind of smudging out the liner to make it look more soft on the eye. I think it looks a lot softer and kind of goes more with that bridal feel. Now I'm going to add a little bit of mascara and I'm going to pop on some lashes and I will be right back. Wow, what a difference lashes make. Today I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara. I am obsessed with this mascara. It's so good. And typically when I'm doing a bride or a client for bridal makeup, I usually do individual lashes. I love the Ardell individual lashes. Individuals are a little harder to do on yourself. I just went ahead and went in with the Ardell Wispy Lashes. Another really great option, affordable. It has a very thin band. You can still see the eye makeup look, which I really, really love. And I started to do my lips, but then I forgot that I wasn't filming. I usually do a very neutral kind of look, whether it's a neutral pink or a neutral brown. It really doesn't matter, but I try to keep it neutral because one, you don't want to see nothing but lips in photos. Two, your soon-to-be husband probably does not want a dark lipstick on them once they kiss the bride for the first time. I've only had one bride ever ask me for red lips, and hey, if that is your jam, then again, you do you. I'm doing kind of a neutral pink because I just think that that always looks super, super pretty for bridal. I went in with the Pillow Talk lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Naked Blush Matte Lipstick from Flower Beauty. I used this actually in my last video as well. Almost just kind of tapping it onto the lips and then blending it out towards that lip liner. And then I also used this in my last video. This is the Sistar Cosmetics Velveteer Lip Crayon. I like to use this in the center of the lips because it's just a little bit lighter and it gives a little extra brightness to the lips. If you want to bump it up a notch and have a little bit of sparkle, then you can always go in with a little bit of lip gloss. This is from H&M called Sweets for My Sweet. And I'm just going to add this right in the center. Last but not least, we are setting the face one last time to make sure everything is locked and loaded and looks amazing and just looks like skin. Here is the makeup look. What do you guys think? You can just imagine me in a bridal gown and a veil, just that beautiful bridal look. I just think this is so, so pretty. And this is a look that will look good on everyone. Of course, I want to hear what you think of this look in the comments, so let me know. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you are a bride-to-be and you're getting married this year, congratulations. I'm so, so happy for you. I know that you will make a beautiful bride, and I hope that this look maybe inspires you to do something soft and romantic, a natural glam look for your wedding day. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.